authors are repeating the same idea again and again. When the mind is quiet, when it is no more identified with the sense objects of the world outside, it is no more entertaining those thoughts. Quiet mind is sattvic mind. To sattvic mind, the truth is self-evident. So all the various methods of quietening the mind has been already discussed. And the same idea is again and again repeated because an ordinary student who is striving to contemplate upon will not easily grasp this idea of quietening the mind, because that is contrary to what he has been doing every day of his existence in this world. Not only he himself is doing it, but all others whom he knows all around him, all of them are constantly keeping the mind in a state of agitation. Continuing, the teacher says,
Nityadvaya khanda chideka rupaha Nityadvaya khanda chideka rupaha Dhyati sakshi sadasad vilakshanaha Dhyati sakshi sadasad vilakshanaha Aham pada pratyaya lakshitarthaha Pratyak sadanandha ghana paratma.
When I thus quieten the mind, turns my attention out of the familiar worlds of the BMI, PFT, OET, after all, what will there be? Zero? It is something like sleep, for which why practice yoga and all that? Have a heavy lunch and one pillow. You can go beyond the BMI, OET, PFT. But there we reach a state of simple, total non-apprehension. We don't apprehend what lies behind it. Only non-apprehension. I apprehended nothing. I know nothing. That is the experience of the entire deep sleep for all living beings. Here, on the other hand, the teacher says, when thus you consciously quieten the mind and consistently try to hold the mind in that sattvic mood, you awaken to a positive state. Now, what is that state? It is beyond words to explain. It is unlike all experiences that you had ever in your life through your body, mind, or intellect. Since it is thus beyond all these experiences, there is no word for it. Just as when the modern technology is being taught in the national language, the poor Hindi Pandit gets worried because there are no words to expound those ideas which are recently discovered. They have got words in English, the technical language, but to explain it in Hindi, ask a doctor to explain everything about your disease in pure Hindi. Angrezi nahi aate. Oh, this is nothing, it is only, what is it? It is only appendicitis. ये मतलब क्या? Appendicitis, ये तो हिंदी में नहीं है. Now the doctor looks at another Hindi man. Will you please translate for this fellow? There is no word in Hindi to correspond that biological condition or that need for the disease of this person. ब्लड प्रेशर है आपको, ये क्या ब्लड प्रेशर? ओ आपको पता समझ में नहीं है, हिंदी में बोलो, अच्छा ब्लड प्रेशर। अच्छा ब्लड प्रेशर है, हाँ कभी खून का प्रेशर है, प्रेशर है, खून का प्रेशर है, मैं समझ में आ गया। See, it is difficult because there is no such experiences in the earlier language, and therefore no word has been discovered so far. Similarly, this great grand experience that you will have, God's state of experience, the self, the divine, the all-pervading substratum for the whole universe, that upon which the world of plurality is playing about, standing and playing about, that has no words. Therefore the teacher points out here, Nitya, permanent. Permanent means changeless. Swamiji, there is nothing changeless. Yes, there is something changeless in you, that is knowing all the changes. If there is a procession, the people in the procession will never see the procession. But if you say that there is a procession, you are not in the procession, you are standing on the balcony of your house and watching the procession. You are something other than that which you are perceiving. You and I are conscious that everything is changing. Everything is anitya, impermanent. Who is knowing it? How do you know that everything is changing? Sanji, that I know. Who told you? Your brother-in-law told you? Your father-in-law told you? No, I know it. If you know change and everything is changing, you are not in the system of change, but you must be standing apart and watching. Therefore, there is no change in you. Change is only in the realm of time. Einsteinian world of time and space, everything is in a state of flux. You don't belong to it. Hi, hi. You are totally unique, something different. You are a timeless, therefore permanent. You are nitya, upon which all the anitya dances are going on. Nitya, advaya, there is no dvaya plurality in it. Whenever we are experiencing in the world, there is always the plurality. There is only one without a second. Even you who is searching for him is not there, separate from it. Advayanand. When the dreamer wakes up, the waker and the dreamer are no more two. The dreamer disappears and becomes one with the waker. In the same way, when this self is realized, that state is advaya, nitya, advaya, akhanda, unbroken, constantly available. Chit eka rupaha, that is of one nature only, chit, consciousness. Sada, at all times. Akhanda, unbroken. What you and I are experiencing is broken consciousness. I am conscious of the sound. I'm conscious of the smell or the taste or the touch or the form. I'm conscious of heat and cold. I'm conscious of my joys and sorrows. I'm conscious of the thoughts that are running into my mind. All that you know is consciousness of, conditioned consciousness. This self, when you reach therein, you realize that it is pure consciousness. No more can you say conscious of something. Objects are not there. So, akhanda chideka rupaha. So, nitya, it is permanent. No changes ever in him. Advaya, non-dual. Akhanda, unbroken. Chid, consciousness. Eka rupaha is of ever the same at all times. 3 points, 3 arrow marks. Buddhyadi sakshi. Buddhi adi, intellect, etc. Intellect, etc. means all your equipments of experience, intellect, mind, body, sense organs. In all of them, you are gaining experiences from the outer world. In all those experiences gained through the instruments of the body, mind and intellect, this consciousness is a mere sakshi, a mere witness. Just as the sun is the witness of everything that is happening in the world. Sun is a witness of the Atlantic Ocean or the, Pacific Ocean. All the waves, they are all dancing in the light of the sun. But the sun is not dancing. The water never touches the sun. In the sun there are no waves. But all waves are seen in the light, shining in the light of the sun. Sun is a sakshi. Similarly, when I am killing somebody on the roadside in a spur of anger, you were standing there trying to put your palm in the mouth, and then you stopped. You are called a sakshi. You did not give me the dagger. You did not tell me, go and kill him. You did not know that you are going to be killed. Somebody is going to kill somebody. You are not expecting it, but it happened, and you were untouched, identified. You are an independent entity standing on the roadside, and you saw that. You are called a sakshi. But if you are an intelligent witness, you immediately disappear from there. Why? In a short time the police will come. Then they will go on asking, did you see him? And if you are an honest man, and say, yes, I saw, that will do. What is your name? Who is your father? Who is your mother? Acha, court mein aa jana, bas. There afterwards, for the next 3 years, court. So every intelligent man runs away from there. Did you see? What? Hey, so-and-so killed somebody. When? Where? हम तो पान लेके वापस आए बस. You see? Sakshi. Now in you, there seems to be a source of light consciousness which illumines everything, allows everything to happen in front of it. But himself is not affected in the least. He is a mere sakshi. Buddhyadi sakshi sadasad vilakshana. This great grand truth cannot be called and captured in any of your intellectual estimates, concepts. Intellectually, when I am observing the world of plurality, very many categories of the intellect we use, small, large, good, bad, ugly, beautiful. gross, subtle. These are all intellectual categories. All these categories put together is what you call as my knowledge of the world outside. The physical and chemical properties of things. This is what science is investigating. Infinite varieties of things, so therefore the scientific investigation will never end, because they have to investigate everything. Here in the subjective science, they are investigating not what the world of objects are, but who is the subject that is knowing it. So then, all these categories of the intellect, which is only a description of the outer world of objects, all these are shining in my consciousness. When you say that a thing is subtle or gross, sat or asat, it is your intellectual conclusion arrived at. It can be seen, heard, smelled, tasted, touched, therefore it is gross. That which is happening in my mind, my joy, my sorrow, my disappointment, my dejection, my anger, these are all, others will not know until I manifest, it is subtle. It's perfectly all right from the intellectual standpoint. Now the question is, how do you know that a thing is gross, a thing is subtle? That is because it can be perceived and therefore it is gross. And that cannot be perceived, therefore it is subtle. Good. That is because of which it is. How do you know that A is subtle, B is gross? That is my conclusion. Very good. Where was your conclusion? In your palm? On your desk? Swamiji, conclusions all in the intellect. Very good. Where is your intellect? At your elbow? Swamiji, in my head. Very good. Are there holes on the skull? In what light did you see the conclusion? Swamiji, I was conscious of it. Very good. That is all. That consciousness we are talking. This Atman, the self, is not only a Sakshi of everything, but he is also a Sakshi of every intellectual categories in which you can speak. Good and bad, right and wrong, joy and sorrow, beauty and ugliness. All these are intellectual conclusions. These are all the final decisions that you have made. All these decisions are shining in your awareness. We are not talking of your conclusion, but we are in search of what is that light in which all these are experiencing. Similarly, continuing, aham pada pratyaya lakshitartha. Now, constantly, at all times, you have got the feeling, I. I am seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. I am feeling, I am thinking, I am. Isn't it? This I, what you are thinking is conditioned by the nature of the BMI and the situations around you with the objects, emotions and thoughts. Isn't it? I am not happy in that office means the situation in that office is not conducive to my inner peace. I can't express my efficiency. Isn't it? I am sick. Where? In my body. Body is sick, I am sick. Mind is unhappy, I am unhappy. Intellect is, as you are now, not able to understand what it is, dull, you are dull. I am at this moment conditioned by the nature of my BMI at the given moment and the situations around me of objects, emotions and thoughts, isn't it? And in all those experiences, the common denominator is you are conscious of. I am conscious of my physical condition, mental condition, intellectual condition. I am conscious of the situations around me, provided by the objects, emotions and thoughts around me. I am conscious of. Consciousness conditioned by the BMI is this I. Swamiji, I am tired. Why? That wife of mine. Why should you get tired of the wife of yours? Your neighbor is not tired. All the people in the street are not tired of her. Why? Swamiji, you don't understand. I am her husband. So you, the son of your father, is not worried. Then you went and kept a relationship with this terrible woman. That woman very silently smiles with everybody, screams at you in private. And as that helpless husband, I suffer. She has trained the children also to kick me. So children behave that way. You, the son of your father, is a pure, nice guy. But because of this relationship, you are a successful businessman. Then your partner starts kicking you, and then you get a pain in the neck. Literally. Not pain in the neck, it's an idiom. What is it? Why? I am worried. Whenever your mind is worried about business, stiff neck comes. One day that partner, miserable fellow, by mistake he said, give me my partner, my share, I am going. You immediately give a check. The moment he has gone. Why? The previous night the Swami touched him. It is not the Swami's touch. The problem gone, neck is free. There are hundreds of people. Suddenly you find them having a long collar. क्या हो गया? कुछ नहीं है. It's a fact. I'm not exaggerating. And that problem is gone, that pressure from your mind is gone, you are peaceful as before. Your neck also is. Can move in all directions, no pain. Atman, the self, conditioned by the BMI of your petty, paltry body, mind and intellect, and your tiny, wee bit of a world, and your desires and passions which are not satisfied, etc. Swamiji, private interview. Private interview for what? Satchidananda you are. Swamiji, you don't know my problems. Who is created the problem? Who is the suffering from the problem? Conditioned. This conditioned Atman, which you call as I, the real I is the pure self. But that self, conditioned by it, this is the situation. Thus he says, aham pada, the shabda, aham, pratyaya, the meaning of it, lakshitartha. Not direct meaning. Direct meaning is you, the Mr. So-and-so. the name in your passport, the name recognized by your bankers. I mean, that is so-and-so's mother, father, and some situations. But the real, who is this you? If that consciousness is gone, you, Mr. So-and-so, is no more. Isn't it? You become late Mr. So-and-so. At this moment, very much present. This is the consciousness. Consciousness conditioned by the BMI behavior, you become miserable creature. Lakshitartha, that is actually indicated. The true meaning is this Atman, the self. Pratyak, within yourself. It's not far away above the clouds. In a heaven, a God comfortably sitting, and we suffer here. No, it is in your own heart. Just as the waker is in the very heart of the dreamer. He is not away from the dreamer. Yes, Atman, the self, is in your own heart. Pratyak, within. Sadananda Ghana, Sada at all times, Ananda Ghana, it is a mass of bliss. Ghana, homogeneous mass, nothing else. Just as a piece of gold is nothing but gold. Similarly, it is Ghana, it is a mass of homogeneous mass of mere bliss. And this is called Paramatma, Paratma, that higher self is indicated in all the four lines by various pointers. And to turn your mind's attention in that direction, seeking and searching for what is this reality, the true self, the I in me. So the teacher points out, this is the Paramatma. Continue.
Itham vipaschit sadasat vibhajya Nishchitya tattvam nija bodha drishtya Jnatva svamatmanam akhanda bodham Tebhyo vimukta swayameva shamyati.
Itham, thus, vipaschit, the wise man. I mean, this is not meant for stupid ones. Vipaschit, wise man. Wise man meaning one who is a bright intellect and capable of logically thinking. Educated, cultured guy who is not clouded with tamas, thinking of only eating, drinking, but one who has got a capacity in your intellect to analyze and understand, who has a thirst for knowledge, vipaschit, sadasad vibhajya, distinguishing with sat and asat, the real and the unreal. The real is permanent, changeless. The unreal is that which is constantly changing. So vibhajya, distinguishing them, discriminating between the real, the changeless, the immutable, and the things that you are now experiencing, the Einsteinian world of change, of objects, of many, which are modifying constantly. They cannot be the real. The real is that which remains the same in the past, in the present, in the future. Vibhajya. Thus by correct analysis, with scientific detachment, when you analyze your life and distinguish the not-self, the changeable, the variable, and filter them away and get at the permanent, the eternal, Nishchitya tattvam, intellectually, Nishchitya having convincingly accepted, the intellect has accepted. Tattvam, the reality, Nicha Bodha Drishtya. No, Swamiji, it's not necessary. Guruji told me. Guruji told me is Guruji is happiness. Okay? No, Swamiji, I need not marry and all that. My brother is married. That is for his comfort. You have to marry. No, don't worry, my father has got a house and so long as the father allows you to stay. You understand? So until you yourself, nature, your own bodha drishtya, you must be able to recognize this convincing argument, not only accept the argument, but also convince you by your manana, makes it true. It is. Till now I was confusing myself with the world of objects. They are constantly changing. This change is recognized by the changeless. That changeless is the consciousness in me. That is me. I am not affected by the changes that are taking place. Nicha bodha drishtya. By the vision of your whole, by your understanding, your own direct understanding. Don't say Upanishads said it. That is only for lawyers, they can say that. Allahabad, there is High Court, there is a judgment. And the Calcutta High Court has said it. These are quotings. And the poor judge says, I see. So then you are compelled now to compromise your conclusions and say exactly as Calcutta said it, Allahabad said it. So many of the lawyers are smart enough. They will open a book, big looking book. Your Lordship, Allahabad High Court has said, and he will read very fast. What? Which is not there. And you look. And the court knows who's who in the judges, or the lawyers. So you say that, please submit for the court to see it. Sir, that is not necessary. I don't want to give you more and more work. There is Allahabad judgment. There is a Calcutta judgment. And the Calcutta judgment, I will take another book. Read what he wants to read. And the judge smiles. He knows that there is no such judgment ever passed in this country. Because he's illogical. And he says, all right, submit it for the court. He will never submit it. Why? It is not there. Where is to submit it? You understand? So that is all right for law. Here it is, you are trying to discover yourself. So just don't sit down and say that my Guru is a very great yogi. He told me that is sufficient. No, that is not sufficient. Whoever with the Guru is, even Lord himself had to come and say, you ask him a few questions. How? Why? I can't understand. Until it comes to your own understanding, your delusion can never end. Your relations and well-wishers may all be seeing the rope, but you still see the snake. They all are repeating, Papa, Mama, don't worry, it is... And he says, what are you doing? Have I not, with my eyes, I am seeing the snake. That snake bit me. If you don't believe it, see the burning sensation coming. The blue color there. And he is believing so much that the blue color will be there. Bitten by a rope. Nicha bodha knowledge. Yes, bhoja drishtya. Jnatva, having understood that. First you have to convince your intellect, or else intellect will not leave the sense of limitation of an ego. Jnatva swamatmanam akhanda bodham. Thereafterwards, come to experience this Atman, the self. To be what you are. End your misconceptions about you. And what is your nature? Pure consciousness knowledge. Pure knowledge means it is in the light of this knowledge all other knowledges were rendered possible. All your experiences were real to you because you were conscious of them. Come to realize this pure, akhanda, unbroken by various objects and happenings, minus the objects and happenings, the pure consciousness which illumines and gives you the knowledge of things. Akhanda, tebhyo vimuktaha swayameva shamyati. Then the tamas and rajas, tebhyaha, the both of them, it becomes quietened. The non-apprehension ends because you are apprehending. And therefore the agitations of the mind which projects the world of plurality quietened. Both of them, because of which you are being bound. You are tebhyo vimukta. You become liberated from both of them. Swayameva shamyati. Swayameva, by itself. Shamyati. You come to experience infinite peace and bliss, which is the nature of the Atman, the self.
Ajnana hridaya granthehe Nishesha vilayastada Samadhina vikalpena Yadadvaitatma darshanam.
It is a vision of the rishis, that our inner personality, as you and I are existing now in the world, we are not a free entity. We have been bound and shackled by chains. You cannot express all your abilities and capacities. You are conditioned and shackled, chained by three great knots. They are called knots of the heart. Now, don't think that my heart has got, and then knots are put there. No. Heart doesn't mean the pumping organ, your essential nature. The core in you is always shackled by three knots, meaning three chains, and therefore you cannot freely move about, you are bound. These three chains are called avidya, kama, karma. Avidya, ignorance. The non-apprehension of the higher reality. Well, you are infinitely blissful. Even though you are of that infinite bliss, you are experiencing at this moment the sorrow, limitations, and therefore every living being, plant, animal and human, are constantly running towards the world of objects in order to eke out a little more happiness. There is non-apprehension of the higher reality. Therefore, you experience that you are a limited entity. Even though you are a limited entity, you have got the call from the higher, and you silently know that I am all blissful, but in this world I am not getting it. That is because I have no house of my own. I have not got another wife. I have not got children. They think in terms of objects, that if I get it, aha, Ananda Mangal, Every living being, unicellular organism onwards, every living being is constantly in search of happiness. Somebody wants 3,673 crores. You and I want, instead of roti, tired of roti, a paronta. That is all your demand. Every day that white, dead skin is placed on your plate. So everybody, very Advaitic, everybody, have you seen them? Everybody, ayya. Why? When you see that roti, is it? One will. Some people they are afraid of it as a snake or something. Others. And the brahmacharis are very liberal. Now, so that this, because of this ajnana, non-apprehension of my true divine nature, I always need and demand some happiness, and for which frantically I am running about in aggrandizing and taking the world of objects. Avidya. Because of that avidya, desires rise in your mind, in your intellect. Why? I want that, I want this, I want that. Why do you want it? For my happiness. Nobody wants anything for your sorrow. I want. My child must die, Swamiji. Why do you want the child to die? For just to get some sorrow, so that he can enjoy sorrow. No! Nobody wants it, because it is sorrowful. All you want is only one more son. My dear man, even this you can't send him to college. Well, never mind, Swamiji. Why? That is happiness to me. Everybody, they want property, land, a house, a car. All these for what? A little more happiness. Desires rise. Desire is a scheme that your intellect is giving to you to make you happier by getting the possession. And when thus due to avidya, non-apprehension of your infinite bliss and beatitude, your true nature, desires arise in you, kama, and when desire has arisen, the body cannot keep quiet, but must sweat and toil to fulfill those desires, karma. This avidya, kama, karma, these three are shackles on you. This is called a hridaya grandhi, the three knots of the heart. Ajnana hridaya grandhi, grandhir nishesha vilayastada. When can I remove them all and live in my freedom? Tada, then alone you can gain this freedom from all your personality inhibitions. Everyone has got it. It's only Nyunadikya. Some people have got more, some people have got less. Those who have got less, they will always point out another fellow is inhibited. Is inhibition. But the other fellow, he also has got inhibition. Everybody has got limitations on their intellect created by the non-apprehension of reality, which generates and fumes up desires in you. And in order to fulfill the desire, I go out into the world outside, corrupt others so that I may do the corruption properly, kill others so that my path is clear to me, to get my goal, my happiness, everything. Samadhina avikalpena. By samadhi, dhi buddhi, sama equal. Quieten your mind and intellect equally. Avikalpena, without the next thought not rising in your mind. For a short time, a minute or two, quieten your mind. That state of quietude of the mind is called samadhi, dhi buddhi, sama equal. Equal means no ripples of thought is rising. The still waters of a lake. If you put a stone, ripples start. The moment I perceive the object, the mind ripples. When the mind has become quiet, samadhina avikalpena, avikalpa without thoughts. Yada, when advaita atmadarshanam, when I awake into that advaita non-dual, atmadarshanam, come to apprehend that greater state of consciousness. All your avidya granthi, the bondages upon your personality is released. You are really free then. Now it is all political freedom, economic freedom, freedom from illiteracy. These are all casual. These are all limitations, within limitations. Freedom. A prisoner who has been always kept in the room is allowed to come out and do some agricultural work with chains. It's all chained. But you give him a pickaxe and he is allowed to, he feels that I am so free in this prison that I am not always in the room, I am allowed to go out, I can see the stars, or not stars, in the night they won't take you, the clouds, and the breeze comes, the smell of things, and I can work and sweat and do some exercise. Oh, Swamiji, I am here. When I was in Bombay jail, it was terrible. I am all the time in one room only. Now they have brought me to Yarwada jail. Ha! It's a heaven, I tell you, Swamiji. You try, you come. You see? Why? Even though he is in shackle, chain and the ankles and the hip, he can't run, hands are in shackles, but he has been given a pickaxe and to dig the hole. But Mehta Sahib says, this jail is really what freedom they give me. Freedom, relative. Instead of putting me in a panjara, in a nest, a cage, a one single room, I am some freedom, relative. But when all the shackles have gone, and you are told that tomorrow onwards, my dear man, you are free. You have lived through your punishment. You go. It's completely free. In the same way, your limitations in your inner personality today are due to the avidya, kama, karma. And when can that be broken? Only when avidya, ignorance is ended, the non-apprehension of the higher reality is ended. When can the non-apprehension end? When you apprehend the reality. When you realize that higher state of consciousness, All the sense or limitations that you suffered in a lesser one, all of them will end.
Tvamahamidamityam kalpana buddhi doshad
Prabhavati paramatmani
advaye nirvisheshe pravilasati samadhau asya sarvo vikalpah vilayanamupagachet vastu tattvavadhritya.
The same idea in a more poetic way. Because as I told you at the very beginning, Shankara is reveling in Vivek Chudamani to express his choked up poetry, where the words dance to his demand. No doubt, of all languages, the richest language in vocabulary is Sanskrit. And he is choosing the words, not sitting down and choosing the words by dragging the hair. Because Shankara was never bald. Maybe he is always covering it. He is not bald. Why? All the other poets. The other day, President of India was recognizing the poets. All of them came one by one to the platform. Everyone, up to the ears, all hair gone. Why? Pull at it in order to get the poetry out. They are called poetasters. They are not poets. Poets, the poetry will come of its own accord. See? Now here you find how the word so beautifully flows out. Tvam, aham, idiyam, these things. You, me, and this. Tvamahamidiyam idi tvahamaham idam. This, you, me, and this. First person, second person, third person pronouns. Meaning plurality. Idiyam kalpana buddhi doshad. They are all projections of your mind. Why buddhi doshad? Because your intellect is affected by tamas. Therefore you are not able to recognize the highest. And therefore the mind is projecting. Buddhi doshad. Prabhavati paramatmani. In the paramatman, prabhavati, it appears. In the rope, it appears as a snake, which is created by your mind. Advaye nirvisheshe, in the advaya, non-dual, nirvishesha, with no distinctions, and no differences, the one mass of infinite life, which is the Atman, the Self. In that you see this plurality. And recognize that you, me, and this. All these pluralities recognized. Pravilasati samadhavasya sarvo vikalpo. But when in samadhi, when in intense contemplation, all these thought agitations are quietened. And when the thought agitations are quietened in the mind, the plurality perceived disappears, as in deep sleep. In deep sleep the mind is quiet. The world interpreted to us by the mind is not available to each individual at that time. Similarly here, when the mind is quietened by deliberate practice, this pluralistic phenomenal world disappears. Pravilasati samadhavasya sarvo vikalpo, all the vikalpa, all the thoughts and agitations and doubts and creation, thoughts have ended. Vilayanam upagached, all of them, vilayanam, all of them get dissolved away. Vastu tattvava dhritya, when the vastu, the realities of dhritya, when you are directly experiencing it. Meaning, just as when you wake up to a waking state of consciousness, the dream world disappears. Similarly, the ego and its world is now today very real to us, because we are living in avidya. When that avidya is removed, when you awake to the higher state of consciousness, all this will get. Now, this is an idea that has been said for the last 10 or 12 verses. Hey, but then why is it? It's only for the vilasa matra, for the play of his poetry. Once more read.
Tvamahamidamityam kalpana buddhi doshat prabhavati paramatmani advaye nirvisheshe pravilasati samadhau asya sarvo vikalpaha vilayanamupagachet vastu tattvavadhritya.
Therefore, what am I to do? Shankara advises, Shantodanda.
Shantodantah paramuparatah Shantiyukta samadhim kurvan nityam kalayati yatihi swasya sarvatma bhavam tena vidyati mirajanitan sadhu dagdhva vikalpan brahma kritya nivasati sukham nishkriyo nirvikalpah.
Chandodat, what are the things to be prepared, or how are we to prepare ourselves for samadhi is being announced. When you hear that, this samadhi state is a wonderful state where the mind becomes quiet. Acha, Swamiji, how? How can it quiet? Buddhu, it is your mind, not my mind. How can I tell you? No, how to quieten? The student will always ask, how? The technique, here you are, the prescription. Shanto dantaha, an individual who has practiced. Shanta, the mind quietened, because desires are not rejecting it. Dantaha, one who has controlled the sense organs, that the tempting objects of the world outside are not reaching the mind through the sense organs. Because the mind is not running through the sense organs to the sense objects. The sense organs by themselves can never see or hear or smell or taste or touch. They can function, the sense organs are functioning only when the mind is running through it, leaking out into the world of objects. So a mind that is not pushed out by desires, and that quietened mind is turned towards the higher in contemplation. The Danta, the sense organs become dead quiet. Just as in deep sleep you don't hear, you don't see. There are very many people who sleep with eyes open. When you see somebody, you just... Whoever he be, you need not ask, excuse me, may I do it? You need not ask. He will not feel. Careful, he is waking or sleeping, you must be first of all know it properly. Because Swamiji said that therefore I did it and my nose has been flattened, that is because the man was not sleeping. When you are in sleep, there are people who just keeps the eyes open. He doesn't see, because the mind is not functioning. Even some of you are listening continuously my talk. The moment the mind goes that, "Oh, my children, I hope they are all right." The moment you go home, you don't listen to what I am talking. And then when everybody laughs, you want to know what it's all about. Share in the joy, and therefore you ask your neighbor, "Sunani?" Sorry, my mind went. Mind went, your ears cannot hear, eyes cannot see. Think? It's not only when you have got a bad cold that you cannot smell. When you've got a worry in the office and you have just high time for the office, you are already late at that time. Whatever you eat, there is no taste. Whether the coffee has got sugar or not, you don't know. You drink everything, eat everything and say, "How darling, beautiful, bye-bye," and run away. And then the poor Hindu wife sits down to have her breakfast. It is only then she realizes, "Ayya, upma, I forgot to put salt." But he is a devata, I tell you, he eats anything. Anything I give, he eats. And chini is not run in the coffee, and yet he never said anything. It's nice. This is all only up to Saturday. On Sunday morning, whatever you do, nala pachaka, you may quickly, divine food you keep it there. So you don't know how to cook exactly like my mother. You are not done like that, you should have done like this, you know. In Sunday there is no mind, mind is all in the right way. So the taste or anything, sense organs can function only in the mind. Now, an individual who has quietened the mind because desires are not disturbing, and with that mind he is continuously contemplating upon him, Shama and Dhamma. Chanto Danda Paramam Uparataha. His mind is totally uparatam, retired from entertaining the objects of the world outside. Chandi Yuktaha, Chandi, forbearance. At that time also there will be some disturbances. You are able to retire, suffer them silently. Don't take it any seriously, Chandi. Yukta Samadhi, and then practice Samadhi, quietening the mind. Kurvan Nityam Kalayadi, Nityam constantly, daily. Kurvandi doing, practicing, quietening the mind. Samadhi practice. Kalayadi, he comes to gain yati, the yatna karne wala, the one who is striving in the spiritual part. Sosya sarvatma bhava. He develops that experience that the Atman, the self in me, is the one self everywhere. Even if it is a bathroom bulb, remove that and put your finger inside. You immediately realize Sarvatma Bhava. That the electricity in that bulb is the universal electricity. Afterwards you need not go to Australia and say, "Let me see whether Australian electricity is exactly like Indian electricity." No, you have understood. Hey, but would you like to? No, I had my experience. Where? In India. Which bulb? Bathroom bulb. Bathroom bulb is a different thing. Now try this. No, thank you. Similarly, once you have understood the Atman, the self in you, you immediately realize that this is the self in everyone. Sarvatma Bhava. Tena vidyati marajanita dan sadhu dagdva. Now tena, by that experience, avidya, the non-apprehension of reality, which created all the mental agitations in the world of plurality. All these, avidya and avidya krita, world of plurality. Avidya, non-apprehension. So once in samadhi you come to apprehend that great reality, tena, by that experience, avidya timira, the darkness or the non-apprehension created by tamas, janitan, born out of that, the world of plurality. Sadhu dagdva vikalpan, all your vikalpas, all your thought agitations due to the world of plurality, all of them are dagdva, burned up in no time. All your misunderstandings are ended when understanding comes out. Brahme kritya, after becoming one with the Brahman, meaning awakened to the other state of union. Nivasati sukham, thereafterwards he lives happily. Happily, no touch of sorrow come to him. Nishkriyo nirvikalpa, he has no more any activity, desire-prompted activity as you and I are doing. Nor any vikalpa, any thought agitations. There sits the master. No more any activity. Activity there means not that he will not serve the world. Activities arising out of his own selfish, egocentric activities will not be. That is the kind of activities in which we are now engaged at this moment. They also act expressing their love for the world outside. That way, without neither activities, meaning egocentric activities, and no mental agitations. What will happen in future? No. In the past, no. Mind is quiet. Such people live in this world thereafter with a mind quiet, and no action will come out of him, prompted by his own stupid ego or selfish desires. See? Why? His misconceptions or avidya is ended. He is directly experiencing the infinite self.